recording a video and doing all this stuff, forgot how much more time it takes. My week as a whole so far has been, I've tried to introduce weightlifting back. Recently, I fell down the stairs and I hit my elbow pretty hard and it was like swollen, and then it got better, and then I tried working it out. We're not really doing a lot of weight today, but my elbow had an injury. I fell like 2-3 weeks ago, and so this is more so just like a first workout in a long time, just to kind of like not put too much weight on it, but also like use the muscles a little bit. So hopefully it goes well. And I did, and I remember feeling my elbow slightly sore. So I got an X-ray and I got an ultrasound, and so now I'm actually just gonna wait for the doctor to kind of be like, hey, this is what's up. Then you're kind of good to go, and the soreness is fine after a workout, or you know what I mean? Because the last thing I want to do is permanently kind of like screw it up, where then I need to like wait like more than a couple weeks and even wait like much longer, you know? I did feel it on my left elbow more than on my right, but no real degree of pain, just more so like a touch of pressure. I've been increasing my running volume for a little bit now, and so now I'm like slowly, realistically, I would probably split upper body into two, right? Where it's like chest and triceps and back and biceps or something like that. But right now, I might just do this all as one, as my like results from my elbow come back. I got an X-ray before, which was fine, and then I got an ultrasound. I just want to know like if I'm good to go. What happened? Huh? Mama. What happened? So I don't know if he thinks his name is Click Click or if he thinks his name is Mew. Actually, let's just kind of quickly talk about what we're eating. I'm just having a banana, sourdough bread. I don't have honey right now, so what we're doing instead of honey is we have the IKEA like strawberry jam. So my mom just got it, and then I just have a little bit of Noon electrolytes. So the point of this video, just as a general, for me, when I started out, for beginners, there isn't really a lot of very useful information. I think I was very confused at the start because I didn't know. So am I supposed to be in zone 2? If I start running for more than like 2 minutes, my heart rate was at like 170. Is that a bad thing? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to manage it? And so now that I've gotten a little bit better, the way my mind works, I'd be able to give you guys pretty good information on how to approach running if you're an absolute beginner, if you've just ran a few times, if you're overweight, which I was. I've lost like about 35 pounds now. So if you're overweight, which makes running even harder, how to kind of approach all that. We're gonna do like a long run today. I don't know how long we're doing. I'm gonna try to go from anywhere between 4 miles to 7 miles. And the reason why we're kind of spread out It's because legs are a little sore, but I'm hoping that the legs just kind of like, feel good. And they just kind of like, they say, you do easy miles and your legs, the blood flow is going to make your legs feel better. So I don't know if I actually believe that, but we'll see. I guess the first thing is kind of figure out where you kind of are. Where I was is growing up, I loved the idea of running, but I never could actually run. I would run like a minute, 2 minutes tops, and then I would just need to walk. So when I started getting interested into the idea of running, I would hear a lot about like zone 2 and how you need to like be jogging at zone 2 or going at zone 2. But the issue was that I didn't have these like 5-6 zones. For me, it was either I'm dying or I'm like fine. And fine meant walking. And the moment I got into jogging, I went from like zone 1 all the way to like zone 4 or zone 5. Like that's how it felt. Everything that I'm hearing, this can't be right. This just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that this would be the way to train, because they're saying zone 2, but I can't stay in zone 2 without walking. And I don't know if I'm walking, if that's going to help me jogging. Like, will that? Because that's what I was looking for. I was looking for someone to be like, yeah, you can jog at the start, or you can walk at the start and that'll be okay. As long as you're in zone 2 and you're training your zone 2, it's all the same. Like, that's what I was hearing for. But don't even look at zones that much. As long as you're not like running at like super high heart rates for super long, you should be okay. Like whatever you can do to kind of like work in like a lower zone. But for the most part, the way I approached it was like the countdown method, which is, and where you start off is going to depend on you. Some people will need to start off at like a 4-1, which is 4 minutes of walking, 1 minute of jogging, and then doing that over and over again. And some people, they can jog for a couple, like longer than 1 minute. They can jog for 2-3 minutes. So what I would do is 4 minutes of walking, 1 minute of jogging, and then 3 minutes of walking, 2 minutes of jogging, and then 2 minutes of walking, 3 minutes of jogging, and then 1 minute of walking, 4 minutes of jogging. And at some point, I wouldn't be able to jog anymore, and I would need to walk. And then you would kind of get a sense of like, okay, this is where I am. And that's a good place. And that workout is a pretty good place to start. And you can do that over and over again until you feel like you're getting better. If you're like, okay, like I can't even do 2 minutes or I can't do 3 minutes, then maybe the place to start is 4-1, 5-1, or whatever, however you want to start. And then the next one you do is 2 minutes of jogging, and then you go back to 1, and then you go back to 2 or something like that. But the idea is like walk, jog, do like a split. And everyone knows their body the best. So get a feel for your body and what it kind of likes. But the biggest thing here is, as you're doing that, the idea is like you're also trying to just introduce the idea of like mileage for your body. You're trying to tell your body, I'm going to be going for this long for this week, and we're going to be doing it again next week. And just plus 10%. And the idea is like every week now you're going to be adding, you're either going to be going the same or 10% over or 10% under. Tapering down is fine. A lot of people do that, but you want to just stay relatively the same, especially if you're looking for progress. You can add 10%, don't go over 10%. That's kind of like the magic number for most people. Just start introducing more and more kilometers and miles into your system, for your bones, for your body. And at least for me, that was like the way to start to kind of ramp that up. And as I did that more and more, it just got easier and easier. That's the big starting point. So today is a speed workout. I've started to integrate these a little bit more and more. So like my fourth or fifth week, I'm just going to take you guys along, and then we can kind of talk about what I've been doing this week and everything else. And then hopefully you guys learn something from this. Today's thing is like a 2-mile warm-up into a 4x4. Typically I would do this as a track, but being that I kind of want to get some sort of recording on this, and I'm alone, it's probably just gonna be easier to do it on a treadmill. Like treadmills are fine. I think the one thing I was reading is that you should always do it at like a 1%. It gives you like the semblance of like the little bit of air resistance and ground kind of like elevation resistance, and you know, going uphill, whatever that you would typically get from going outside. I think that there's other ways to bring down costs, but for the most part, to start, electrolytes are probably the only real important thing. It just depends on how much you're sweating, but I think electrolytes are the only real thing that you want to make sure you're getting. You want to make sure you're getting enough sodium, magnesium, potassium, like that kind of like blend. There's certain ones that are better than others, but in general, just make sure you have all of those three things. Look it up, what good electrolytes are, and you'll figure it out. The other real thing is, you know your body, you know how it feels, just kind of go for it. You don't want to spend too much because you never know if you started doing it and you just don't enjoy it. I've seen videos on people that started into running, went into cycling. Cycling's more expensive, but at the end of the day, you want to get into one of these things that just makes you feel good. If that's weightlifting, then that's weightlifting. For me, there's a sense of like self-competition inside running that is exciting. The one thing I started to do early on is I was listening to audiobooks. So historically, I actually really found audiobooks hard to listen to. I felt like my mind wandered off too much. But I think that there was something about like how mentally difficult running was that I found audiobooks is a pretty easy way to like lock into something when my mind just wanted to do anything but focus on something. Focus on the idea of like stop running. But if I could like mentally just be like, okay, let me hear Goggins tell his story, then it was pretty easy. I found like the idea of like listening to something and focusing on something pretty nice. So it became like a nice little thing to get the mind off. If you can do anything to just make it easier on the mind, the process to running or to doing any sort of cardio is just gonna be easier on you. Okay, it was a good week of running. I got a little bit more than last week, and I'm just progressing slowly. I think the goal is 30 to 40 miles per week by the end of the year, and then that's when my real marathon training begins. But if you're gonna take anything away from this video, just know consistency is key. Progress slowly and make sure you're getting in the right nutrition, you're hydrating, getting all your liquids, your electrolytes and stuff like that. Listen to your body and just don't stress about it. I'll be honest. You stress about it and things will just get harder than they should be. Yeah, and just go out there and run. Go out there and move, just get the miles in and you'll be good. Just don't stress. The more I stress, the worse I got. All right, guys. Subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, tell me what I should cover next, but I have a couple ideas. All right, so look forward to that. Later.